Hey there, and welcome to a brand new episode of Show Me the Crypto. This week, we chat with Cecilia Hsueh, who is the co-founder and CEO of Morph. What I really enjoyed about this conversation is Cecilia did a great job breaking down why blockchain and crypto has had such a tough time with mass adoption, bringing users on. She shared a stat that it was 95% of people haven't experienced directly, interacted with some of these blockchain protocols. Ulf, what about for you? What were your biggest takeaways?
Yeah, I think spinning off of that, we got into discussion around speculation and like speculators in the crypto space versus that technology being built and what that technology is meant to really bring to the masses, and how there's a divide between people who are just in it to make money and all of the great things that the technology is actually going to bring to society. And so really diving into that and the layers there around, for example, meme coins. Trading meme coins was a big part of this conversation because it's been really hot lately. And there really is no real value in meme coins. It's all about just making money. Whereas what they're doing at Morph is trying to build the infrastructure so that we can have real apps and products that are built for mass adoption from consumers. And that's not going to be meme coins. So just getting into the weeds around all of that was very interesting for me.
Yeah, this interview was broke down into a couple different sections. We start off with a bit about Cecilia's background and what it's like to be a founder in this space, like going to all of the conferences, living in different places. Like, it's not an easy task. Cecilia breaks that down. And then, as Ulf said, we get into that meme coin talk of, hey, the Trump coin launched in January. Is this actually a good thing for crypto? It brings in a lot of people, but do they actually stick around? Cecilia gives her thoughts on that. This is an interview you're going to want to listen or watch the entire thing. We hope you enjoy it.
Show me the crypto. Show me the crypto! Show me the crypto!
In a world on the brink of disruption, two men will bring you clarity by interviewing some of the most intelligent and influential names in the blockchain world. Welcome to Show Me the Crypto with your hosts, Wade Patterson and Ulf Lonergan.
Well, hi there, and welcome to Show Me the Crypto. My name is Wade Patterson.
I'm Ulf Lonergan.
We're a couple of friends from Canada who love learning about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology, and we're happy you're along for the ride. Whether you're a crypto virgin or you know your way around the block, we hope our interviews with some of the most intelligent and influential names in the blockchain space help deliver you with value. And on this episode, we're joined by Cecilia Hsueh, co-founder and CEO of Morph. Over the past 13 years, Cecilia has founded 5 startups and sold services and products to more than 5 million users. Cecilia entered the crypto space in 2019 and founded Morph in 2023. Morph enables real consumer applications powering everyday transactions for everyday people. Cecilia, welcome to Show Me the Crypto.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Wade, you are the first person who called my name correctly, like my full name correctly.
Did I pronounce it right?
Great pronounce.
Good.
Some people never correct, but you said it correctly. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad. That's important for us. We did our research. This is off to a good start. So thank you for sharing that, Cecilia. And where I want to start with this is I was watching an interview and you were asked by the interviewer if you could describe the past year in one word. What word would you use to describe it? And so this was probably mid 2024 and you chose to pick one word. You just repeated it 3 times. You said tired. Tired. So I'm curious, can you break down like what is the life of a founder in this crazy crypto space?
It's a Mandarin interview, right? You even read the translation.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. We really did our research, Cecilia.
Yes.
He learned Mandarin.
I learned Mandarin so I could translate it for
Cool. Yeah. So when the interviewer asked me this question, my first reaction is that I feel like I'm really exhausted from the whole year of more than like 1 year to lead a chain. Because first thing is because I think chain, because I was running crypto centralized crypto exchange before, and I feel like it's pretty straightforward, and exactly what you need to do. Like you need to have new registrations, and then you need to get the AUM, and then it's the trading volume. So the chain, the basically the way of how to make an exchange bigger and more popular is very straightforward. But in terms of a chain, it's a completely different business. First of all, exchange is centralized, and a chain is completely decentralized. So, and also like how to make a chain successful. I think different chains have different stories. At different stage of chains have different stories. So if the market is moving so fast, so when we catch up the first trend, then the next trend comes, and you never know what's the next. And it just moves so fast, like the whole crypto space. So for us, it's very tired to lead a team to chase for the hype of the market. And meanwhile, you need to stick to your long-term vision. On one hand, you need to create the attention on the market, so that you need to have high volume, like a lot of users, a lot of wallet addresses, a lot of TBL. And on the other hand, you need to stick to the path for us, it's like consumer chain, consumer layer, right? It's a very long-term thing. It's not like all these DeFi guys are doing that, create a high yield product, then the users will come. For creating a consumer chain means that you need to have enough consumer builders, and you need to bring the new users outside of crypto space right now. So that actually requires a lot of education process. So definitely for us, this whole process is very exhausting. And also the second thing is that I traveled too much during the past 1-2 years. So we need to run to different conferences, give all these speeches, attend all these panels, and meet all these communities, meet all these partners, builders, and tell them the same story again, until that they remember us. That's also very exhausting. And third thing is that, like what I'm doing now, like I need to be the public face and go to give like public speech everywhere. It's not me. I'm a very like introvert person. So that's actually cost a lot of my energy. That's why it's super tired for me.
Well, in another interview, and this may be, yeah.
More homework.
Yeah. But you mentioned you're one of the only few female founders in the space as well. And I'm just curious, what advantages and disadvantages do you feel come with that?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Because female in Web3 is always a topic. I do think that until today, the human like population in Web3 is still probably, I don't have the exact number, but I think it's definitely below 30%, even 20%. So yeah, having a female like users is rare. Not saying that a female founder. So it's always a pretty popular topic when people see me as a female founder in Web3. Not only one time, but a second time, like entrepreneur in Web3. People always feel very curious, like why are you in this space, and what kind of value you can bring to us, and why you are different, and what kind of things you are building differently than the male founders. I think the advantages here that people are curious about you. They always want to ask you, like you guys ask me the same question. And as a female founder, what do you feel or what do you think that you are different from the others? So they put attention on me. That's why when I started to build up my like Twitter account, actually just started last year. I tried something. I didn't really push very hard, but it just went viral sometimes. Because people think I'm different. They saw enough like crypto native or degen guys, white guys especially.
Yeah.
And now they see a Asian woman founder, and they're super interested in that. Even though sometimes they're not looking into like what I'm building, they just want to see what kind of picture I'm posting. They already give me a lot of attention. So that's a good thing. The bad thing, the disadvantage is that people will doubt you because you are a woman, and they will think that, okay, this space doesn't belong to women. But I don't think in this way, because if we look into the new technology, definitely the first batch of users are guys, because this is what guys belong to, that you are always very interested into new technology, high tech. I think this is inevitable. But once more women step in the space, which means that you will go to more commercial market, you can bring more like real users, retail users, not only like the geeks, the native people in. So I think it's a good sign. And this is why I built Morph, because I feel like there are too many infrastructures on the market right now. So everybody is just caring about the tech. But apparently for builders and users, they don't really care so much about the tech part. Whether you have like 100,000 TPS or 1,000 TPS, for them, as long as they can use it, it's enough. If it's enough to use, it's okay. They don't care that how much time you put to increase the TPS to such high, right? So for us, it's the same. Morph was built to actually to attract the everyday users. So we build for users, we build for the builders. We don't want to build something that we think is super cool, but the builders don't. So yeah, this is why we are here.
You mentioned Twitter there, and your current pinned tweet is that 95% of people haven't tried crypto, right? There's maybe a higher awareness, but 95% haven't actually tried it, not because they don't want to, but because we haven't built it for them. So you had mentioned Morph there. My question is, why is Morph going to be the answer to mass adoption?
Yeah, it's another very good question. I think the first thing is that when I step into crypto space, I actually truly believe all these decentralized philosophy. So I'm a holder and also a trader of Bitcoin. I really love it because I really love the concept behind that. But I'm in the space for 5 years, but I haven't really seen that we are leveraging this decentralization utility or the technology to, change human beings' life. It's still for speculation, right? This round, I don't know whether I think that it's already getting into probably the bear market a little bit at the moment. And even for, the bull round we just experienced, I don't even know whether it's a real bull run or not, because we didn't really create something which has value. It's mostly about meme coins, but everybody knows that meme coins doesn't have real value. Once the hype is gone, everything will go to zero. So this is what we are experiencing now. And also during the whole bull run, we see that as long as there's any things happening in the traditional finance market, then our market is influenced a lot. It's not like the past, the last bull cycle. So it's pretty different. So which means that we don't have a core pillars in the industry, in the market at the moment. And I think eventually people will understand that if we cannot build anything with value, which people use every day, or which can create value to people's real life, then this industry will go to, I don't know where, because we are washing the same group of people's money again and again and again, but their money will be washed to zero eventually. So where are the new users? Currently, what we are building is just for crypto native people and also the degen people. So that's why you see all these Web3 applications are super difficult to use. The UI UX is very complicated. Even if you just want to, for example, connect your wallet with this dApp, it's I don't think any of your friends, your family, they don't understand that. My friends, my family, they don't understand either. It's only a small group of crypto community people will understand that. So this is the first thing. We need to eliminate this. We need to lower this entry barrier in terms of product. And the second thing is that I think 90% of the dApps at the moment are designed in like DeFi, NFT, meme coins, AI, or they're not for like daily use. It's more for just trading or just speculation. So why not bring the everyday use cases on chain? so that people can understand, okay, actually on-chain usage, on-chain scenario is more valuable to us in our daily life. I don't think many people are doing that. And this is also the problem we are seeing here. So I think in these two cases, actually Morph are trying to change both. This is what we are working on now.
You brought up a lot of interesting topics there that we want to dive into. However, before we move off of Morph, I am curious just on the technology side. For example, how does it work in terms of, I saw that Morph, you provide both optimistic and zero knowledge rollups. How do you offer two different rollups within the one protocol? How does that all work?
Yeah, so we started to do the deployment, the development almost like 2 years ago. So at that time, like ZK technology wasn't mature yet, and it's very expensive. So, but we know that eventually people will, I think ZK is the future. So we were trying to find a balance in between OP and ZK. And then we create this hybrid rollup, which actually takes both advantage from ZK and OP, so that it's actually much cheaper than the pure ZK rollup, and it's much faster than the pure, and much safer than the pure OP rollup. So if I use like one sentence to describe how it works, it's basically like people still need to do the fraud proof, but once people challenge you, you need to use the ZK proof to prove yourself. So that's a whole mechanism. And we are the first one who put it on the mainnet. It was already like on our testnet, and then we push it on our mainnet.
You mentioned meme coins earlier, and it's interesting, right? Like, I mean, a good example from January was the Trump coin. Right now, currently, we're recording this in mid-February. Dave Portnoy's jail stool or jail president or whatever it is, like that is one that's popular that he's presenting that's bringing people into the space. But how do you see it as like overall for the health of the space, right? Because it's kind of interesting. In one way, it is bringing new users in because they're interested, maybe fans of these people. But then, like you said, if there's not anything that's sticky there that makes people want to stick around, they might just probably lose all their money, and then they almost have a bad taste left in their mouth. So this is maybe a tough question, but are these meme coins a net positive or a net negative for crypto?
Yeah, it is. I think this is a tough question. For me, I'm not a meme coin like heavy trader. I do trade meme coins, but not that much. I even started with the first meme coin, which is Doge. I actually bought a lot of Doge back in, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. So and also I trade. For example, I bought Trump at very early stage. So yeah, I do trade, but I only trade that this kind of coins, which I think that they have great potential, which means that I know that they will have great P&L in the future. But for the other ones, like the very random meme coins, I don't actually put too much focus on that. But this is my personal view. Most of the time, I'm just trading the mainstream coins, especially, for example, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I hold a lot, but people say that it's a stable coin, which is kind of true at this moment. But Bitcoin is a very good trading asset with a huge volatility, and also goes to all-time high again and again. But back to meme coin, I think it's kind of like NFT 2-3 years ago. When we had these kind of NFTs, it actually brought a lot of new users into Web3. So I think in this sense, it's a good thing, that because meme coin is very simple. You don't even need to understand what it is. You just think it's like a lottery. You buy it, and then tomorrow it will go to 10 times, 100 times. So basically, you spend a very small money and wait until it goes. It earns a lot of profits for you. But at the other hand, I think it actually disturb people a little bit, especially for builders side. because we see so many transactions and so much like TVL or money into meme coin trading. So many builders actually stop building a real applications. Instead, they go to build up like meme coin trading platform or something relevant. But as I said that, or as what we can see right now, it will go to the end, or it will go to like nothing in the end because it has nothing in at the back at the backside. So this is something that we need to. I think it's a good. It's inevitable because crypto space is something like this for almost like 20 years. So it's always easy to catch people's eyeball with this kind of trading assets. But I think to build something for long term, like for Morph, I think we need to do both. Meme coin or any trendy topics or hype stuff, we need to put an eye on that and catch up with the trend. And on the other hand, we need to stick to the long-term vision, like what I said at the beginning. This is actually very, very difficult to do for Web3 projects because once you see the formal trends, it's very difficult like not to move into that way. And meanwhile, you still have a lot of so much like long-term vision work to do. So yeah, I don't see many Web3 projects are doing so.
Yeah, I think meme coins are interesting because especially with how popular they've become, it kind of really shines a light on, if you think about crypto and how it really rose to prominence. There was the tech side and the sort of the belief behind the why of the tech, like why we're building this tech and what it will bring to people. But then on the other side is the speculation. It's people investing or trading to make money. And while that initially started with this belief around where the tech could go, and it was all about, what blockchain technology is going to do, people would then invest in these projects because of all these promises around the great technology and innovation and ideas. We're at a point now where, memes joke about it. There's meme coins that like joke about being like good tech, and they know they have no tech, and nobody cares that they have no tech because it's all about speculation. And where I'm getting at here is that potentially good, if we try and look even a little further into the future, to get to a place where, for example, for users who are the speculators, perhaps this divides us in a good way, where the speculators have their place to play, which is in the realm of meme coins and NFTs, perhaps, and these assets that don't really provide any real value, but are there just for the purpose of speculation and trading and investing. And then on the other side, we have the builders and the technology that's going to push, all of society forward and into a better place with all these great things that the technology is going to bring. So is that a good thing if it does sort of go that direction, or does that hurt progress? Because on the good tech and the building side of things, if you're no longer making the funds, the money as a company that you used to be able to, because everybody was buying up your coin, is that going to slow progress down? Does that mean less investments? Does that mean, less backing and less ability to move at a faster pace?
I think this is actually the kind of like dilemma in the crypto space at the moment. The reason why, because for example, Bitcoin white paper was launched, I think almost like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And now we are still at the early stage of, mass adoption. The adoption rate of blockchain is still less than 5%. And we are not going to the mainstream yet. It is because that during the whole almost like 20 years history, for some people, it's easy for them to get money. And then afterwards, as long as they get rich in the short term, they forget about what they want to build for the long term. And also for these long-term builders, they cannot stick to that because they will see what is FOMO on the market, and it's very difficult for them to, stick to what they're building because you will feel lonely about it. This is what we are feeling actually right now. For consumer builders, at the first beginning, when we talk to consumer builders, we try to talk to consumer builders. It's difficult because there are not so many on the market. That's also because that no actually infrastructure or chains or ecosystem was supporting them during the past few years. Most of the builders are still building DeFi because that's where the whales are. That's where the money is. So builders are also smart. They don't want to, as you said, they will go to where the fund is. They will go to where the big money is. So everything we are creating is about trading, is about speculation, and it leaves these builders who want to build for long term. They don't know what to do. So that's why we are here to support them. But it's actually a not easy and lonely journey. So I wouldn't say that Morph is a game changer here. We definitely want to build or bring like blockchain into mass adoption with all these consumer-centric builders and consumer-centric applications on chain. But I don't think that we can do it alone. We need people. We need builders who have the same vision to build together with us. But I think Morph is definitely one of the first batch of projects who advocate people to do that.
So Cecilia, you mentioned there that it's important to align with builders that sort of have the same vision. So how do you go about that process, right? Because that's what we were thinking as we were researching for this episode is it's got to be tough. You can do so much. You can kind of lay the groundwork and then hope that builders come in and build applications that are really easy for consumers to adopt onto and that kind of thing. But like, how much control do you have over that? Or what is your process to ensure that builders who are building on your chain are making this as easy as possible for everyday consumers?
Yeah. So for us, definitely we have our like screening process. We need to find. So for us, I don't want to like pay to buy these projects. I think this is a bad habit which already exists for probably like 2-3 years in a chain spaces. So a lot of chains, because they have this layer 2 narratives, and for them they actually raise a lot of money, and then they start to use these money to buy these projects. So they always give random brands. And at this moment, when I talk to a lot of builders, and I feel like they are already kind of like spoiled in this way, that they feel like every chain needs to give them brands so that they can deploy. But for us, I think the most important thing is that we need to find the builders who share the same vision with us first. It's kind of like you are the VC, and I judge these projects like, am I willing to put my money, like if I'm an angel investor, am I, like me personally, am I willing to give them my money so that I can see that whether they really fit into our vision, that they want to build for everyday user, for everyday use, or they just want to build for short term or take the grants and go to the other chains and take another grants. So you can judge from the people. It's very early stage of builders. So it's kind of like, I think it's kind of like VC when they make the investment decisions. This is the first thing, that we really talk to these builders very deeply and know exactly what they want to build, why they're in the space, what they're building for, who they're building for. And second of all is that when we think about like what is how can we attract these builders, I think the most important thing is that we talk to a lot of builders and ask them about their pain points. What are their unmet requirements on the market right now? So interestingly, they didn't mention a lot about money. Most of them actually, especially the good ones, they mention a lot about, okay, I'm an entrepreneur now and I'm building up a project. Where can I find the best team? How can I write my investment, like the deck, the fundraising deck? Where can I find the best investors? how can I, for example, go listing on big exchanges? So these are very practical, realistic questions they have, and which is also like unmet requirements. So they go to different chains. Most of the time, they just get the grants, and that's it. And then they got integrated, and they don't have enough resources support. So this is what actually what Morph is good at. That's also the key selling points to builders. We are very lucky. We are incubated by Bigot, one of the biggest centralized exchange, crypto centralized exchange in the world. And so Bigot, the whole ecosystem is huge. With the exchange and the wallet, they already have like 50 million users. So for us, it's kind of like the day we launched, we already have access to these 50 million users, and then we can funnel these users to our builders. So for these builders, many of them are worried about where can I apply users. Actually, builders don't know because they are technical background. They know how to build a technical infrastructure or the product, but they don't know how to go to market, where to get users. So when I ask them like, hey, what is your go-to-market strategy? They always say that, okay, I want to collaborate with this chain and then we will do a campaign together. But they don't know that actually the chains are also expecting them to bring them, users and traffic. So they actually have no idea where to get users. So for example, the huge user base we have from day one is a huge selling point to these builders. And also with the access to not only Bigot, but also we are very tight strategy partner with the other top tier exchanges. For example, Maxi, Gate, HTX, Poloniex, all these exchanges. Then actually we can help and support our builders to go listing much easier because they will have better exposure and they know exactly who to talk with. Not saying that we can guarantee the listing, but I would say that this kind of partnership and also relationship with these exchange listing team will help them to get that much easier. And also, definitely we have all these marketing and community resources to support these builders. So yeah, I think in these two ways, one is screening the right builders, and second is offer them the right resources they need so that we can help these builders really grow and also to expand to the mass market.
And so what are some of these, consumer built products that are currently being built or exist on Morph, as well as what do you have in mind? Like I imagine you've thought in the past as to some ideas for what you'd like to see built on blockchain for the masses. So what are some of those products, both that exist today or maybe are being built, or just that you have thought of for the future that you'd like to see?
Yeah. So we have, I think the most exciting thing is for payment. Because payment is a pain point in both Web2 and Web3 spaces. For Web3 people, you are thinking about if you have much crypto, how can you use it? Do you need to go to OTC all the time? And there's so much regulation, KYC problems. How can you use it most conveniently? And for the Web2 people, the whole traditional financial world is still using the SWIFT system, and also, for example, the card, the card issuer like MasterCard, Visa, UnionPay is kind of like traditional payment solutions. SWIFT was invented more than 50 years ago. It's actually slow, expensive, and there's a lot of regulation in between. So for users, actually, if they want to transact overseas, or if they want to pay overseas, it's actually not that convenient. And blockchain is exactly the solution to solve this problem. I mean, Bitcoin is invented for like peer-to-peer transaction, but we are not leveraging that. We are just using it for trading. But blockchain can actually solve the payment problems pretty well to make it much cheaper and much faster, and also like less regulation or KYC issue or bank, this kind of traditional bank issue in between. So what is Morph doing is that we just launched our a product called ecosystem project called Morph Pay. So the idea is to unify your fiat currency and also your digital assets within one account. So you can pay with this whatever card. Like we are going to launch different cards in the future, and each card will have different features or different focus area because card needs regulation. So we need to actually solve all these local regulation with licenses. So we are going to launch different cards. But with these cards, you can pay anywhere with low fee with your crypto assets or your fiat assets. And meanwhile, we can plug in our DeFi ecosystem projects, which means when you pay, you also get yield from your card. Because DeFi projects sometimes in the bull market, they can get you very high yields. In the bear market, they can still give you yield higher than the bank savings. So if you go to cafe to buy a coffee today, you will use your yield to pay. If you are going to book a trip to a hotel, you can still use your yield to pay. So this is like pay and yield in the same account. And then we also have like massive airdrops from Morph and also Morph ecosystem projects. So for users like Web2 users, they will feel like, okay, it's a card which I can get high yield. And meanwhile, I can get different like incentives, coupons, whatever discount coupons all the time from different projects. And also like all these projects are consumer related. It's related to your life. For example, we have, Dine to Earn. You go to restaurants and then you eat there and then you check in there and then you will get points. You will get incentives. And then if you go, for example, Workout to Earn, you follow your AI trainer on your phone and then they will give you their points and tokens as incentive. So these are projects built on Morph, which is like very consumer-centric. And users can get airdrops from them. And all these airdrops can actually be used to very related to their life, not asking them to go trading or whatever, which they're not very, very strange from. And I think these are a lot of features that we will see from all the Morph Pay system. But this is just the first step. I think in the future, we are going to help, oversee transaction, which is a huge, huge volume, huge market, and helping them to solve these, very, bank-to-bank, oversee banks interaction will cause them like very high costs and also delays during the transaction issues. Yeah, so this is the payment ecosystem we're building. I think this is the most exciting consumer ecosystem.
Sounds super exciting. Cecilia, this has been a great conversation. In a second, we're going to ask you 3 questions that we ask every single guest on Show Me the Crypto. But just before we get to those, I was going to ask you for what's a hot take for 2025? But you already kind of gave one earlier in the interview when you said that we might actually be in a bear market now, which is interesting because many previous guests have felt, there's just a little blip on the bull market. But I guess the question for you is, what do you think will be the dominant trend of 2025? Whether this is a bull market, whether it's a bear market, what trend do you think will dominate this year?
I think definitely people will look into more valuable applications. Like we build for values, we build for solving the real world problem instead of just build for hype. Because we have already been experienced many cycles. And people already know it goes up and down, but only the products with value lasts for after so many cycles. So I think this is something people need to realize. And I do see that there are many founders and builders start to advocate for that. So this is a good thing. I don't know when consumer trend will be the most trendy one. Probably not this year. Probably in the next 5 years, even in the next 10 years. I don't know. We are here for building for long term, so we don't care whether it's this year or next year. But definitely, we want it to be earlier. But I do think that build for values will be the trend.
Well, as I mentioned, 3 questions that end every episode of Show Me the Crypto. It's a little segment we call You Had Me at Crypto. Ulf is going to ask you those questions.
All right, Cecilia, you ready?
Well, it sounds very scary.
Yeah, it's the big build up for these last 3
These are the 3 tough questions. So
Yeah.
you gotta prepare yourself mentally.
So gear up. Yeah.
All right. The first question: who's your favorite person to follow in the crypto space?
My favorite person. Well, for me, I definitely am a fan of Bitcoin. So I would say Satoshi, but I don't know who he is, but I'm a huge fan of
If
Satoshi,
you tell us how we can follow Satoshi, we will get all the views on this video. All right. Second question. What will the price of Bitcoin be 10 years from now?
Oh, I wish it can go at least double the price, like 200,000. But who knows? Like 5 years ago, I never imagined that I will go to 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, yeah, even like more, 5 times, even 10 times. I don't know. If we can really bring, the crypto, the Web3 into mass adoption, I think it will really happen 5 times, 10 times.
So if you had to nail down a specific price as a guess, what would you say it is?
I would say 500,000.
All right. Like it.
Yeah.
All right. Third and final question. Maybe the hardest. What is the most underrated project in the crypto space?
Other than Morph.
I just wanted to say more.
I know you did.
We don't give you the easy out.
Yeah.
Underrated. This is, it's tough which means that project is not quite popular at the moment. Right. I
will say it could still be popular, but it's still undervalued. It's not as popular as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say like if you ask me now, I would say many of our Morph ecosystem projects, especially the consumer ones, are underrated at the moment because people don't care about, or they don't put too much attention into these consumer dApps. But once they use it, they will feel okay, the charm of it, and they will use it pretty likely like every day. So yeah, I would say they're underrated at the moment, but we are waiting for the trend to come.
I like that sneaky answer, Cecilia. You slip in the dApps that are building on Morph. This has been a really fun conversation. Thank you so much for joining Ulf and I on this episode of Show Me the Crypto.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Show Me the Crypto. Please make sure to subscribe as well as rate and review this podcast.